I keep looking for something I can't get. Broken hearts like oh.
I thought I would start off this whole thing with some good news. Of course, my videos that are coming up are about the coronavirus, but some of them are about how you can survive the coronavirus as well, survive this quarantine. So it's try to be more on a positive note. Okay, now you remember when this started in this country, when you first heard the news of the coronavirus and the infection rate in this country and people who were dying from it. It was in Washington State. That was the epicenter. That was the big place. And it hit a elder nursing facility where people are in close, very close proximity. A lot of people coming in and out visiting. Even strangers go in and out and visit. I mean, people aren't related and not friends of the elderly people. They come in because they want to say hello, they want to brighten people's day, they'll bring a dog. And dogs don't carry the virus, so don't worry about dogs catching it from a dog, thing like that. And also people like priests and ministers and rabbis come to visit people in nursing homes, of course. Of every faith and every denomination, they come in to say hello. Well, so Washington State, that was the big one. And at that time, the infection rate was 20.6. Infection rate. 2 weeks prior to March 23rd. On March 23rd, the infection rate went down to 13.9. From 20.6 down to 13.9. Everyone took the measures, the social distancing. They basically banned everyone from nursing facilities. Nursing facilities are all on lockdown. And right now I'm trying to get a Skype call in. So me and Teddy and Nemo, my dogs, can have a Skype chat to a nursing home very soon, I hope. And over the last 3 days, let's see, 13.9 on 3/23. 2 weeks before was 20.6. That's a steep drop. That's like 7-point drop there. Almost a 7-point drop, right? And then over the last 3 days, it's 11.2. So this is what we want to see. We want it steadily decreasing the infection rate. This is perfect. This is exactly what we want to see. It's spreading, it's spreading throughout the country, and then it goes up, and then it will go down. And not everybody dies of it. They say not one person under the age of 9 or under, has gotten this infection. It is predominantly the elderly, people with underlying conditions. Like I have asthma, and I have 3 heart defects that I was born with. So I'm a high-risk person. Despite my age, I'm a high-risk person. So let's see. All right, California. It was the high of California. And there's a question, why California isn't worse than it is. California should be about as bad as New York is, actually. Their high was 22.5. Now, California has some things going on. It's got a huge homeless population, and the homeless population is basically predominantly American citizens. And lots of diseases have been spreading through the homeless population, including typhoid. Very bad. So with this huge homeless population, fecal matter all over the streets, and urine and needles, you would think the infection rate would be really, really high. Well, and you've got places, you've got Chinatown in California. It's got more than one Chinatown there, where people come and go. They go back to China and they come back to America and they work in the restaurants. And so they'll be bringing a lot of diseases go around China, especially around these bioweapon labs that happen to be in Wuhan, near the wet markets. A lot of viruses escaped. So you would say a lot of viruses may have come already to California. So the question is, and Rush posed this today, could it be that so many viruses have come over from China that the people of California are immune to it? Well, I'm not sure about that. The reason why I say that is because California has got this open door to the southern border. A lot of people are coming in that may not have been exposed to the Wuhan virus or any virus at all. So I think you've seen, this particular virus, was it spreading around China for longer than we knew about? But there's something else about California that's different. California is warm, predominantly warm. As you get up to San Francisco, it does get colder, but it's predominantly a warm Mediterranean climate, is really what California is. And it goes through these ups and downs. Mediterranean climate has droughts and rainy periods. It could be that a lot of the cold and flu, they come around when it's cold, and most of us are inside. But when we go outside and fresh air and open spaces, and it's warm, these viruses and the flu decreases. So we lose more people every year because of cold weather. Because it brings on all sorts of disease. That's when we lose huge amounts of people, a lot of elderly, a lot of high-risk people die every year from colds and flus. And that's what happens during a colder climate, Greta. Okay, and then, so would we say 22.5 was the high? Then it went down to 19.3 on 3/19. 19.3. Say, that isn't that much of a decline. But over the last 3 days, it's gone down to 14.8. So it's steadily going down. That looks pretty good. Like I said, California is warm. It's true, a lot of people could be immune. That could be a factor. That all sorts of viruses have come in because of the open door policy. China constantly sending people over. Even in my town, there's a house that people from China come over and they stay there, and then they work in the restaurants. And then they go back after. Actually, it was today, but you'll be seeing this probably tomorrow. Today's April 1st, but none of this is a joke, by the way. None of this is April Fool's. Actually, I think it was yesterday, so it would be March 31st. Who's it? I forget his name already. Cuomo. Cuomo said, and he repeated it several times for the press, that the infection rate was going up. And he's put a strict quarantine down on New York City. He's really battening down the hatches. And he's really acting like a dictator. A bit of a dictator there. In him, a little Mussolini in him. Well, so 41.4 2 weeks prior. And he warned everyone in the country, we are the canary in the coal mine. It's going to be like this all over the country. Well, not in the places where it's already peaked and gone down. And so far, nobody's as high as New York. And New York, even people come over the border, they take a beeline straight to New York City. They come over illegally over the border. They take a beeline to New York City. Heavily congested place, not exactly a clean city, sad to say. I don't think it's the people's fault. I think there's things that they could do to help that. So there's a lot of factors, and there's Chinatown there as well. A lot of factors why this would be high in New York City. March 22nd. It went down from 41.4, that's huge, to 19.8. Was that 22 points lower? About 22 points lower. That's huge. That's the hugest drop that we've seen so far. Over the last 3 days, it's down to 13.2. Okay, so Cuomo is not telling you the truth. Okay, Cuomo, even though he's an Italian, and I think he looks, it's sad to say, maybe he's a worrywart. Italians do have that side. I say maybe he worries too much because he's 62. He should look a lot younger than that being an Italian. Seriously. And I believe he's a Southern Italian. He should definitely look a lot younger than that. So I would drink more water if I were him. But he raised a lovely daughter. His daughter is just... she's the perfect good Italian girl. Lovely daughter. While Pelosi is not the perfect good Italian girl. Pelosi, in that spending package that's supposed to help us and to buy all this medical equipment and masks to keep us from catching it or transmitting it. One of the many things that were stuck in there, she gave $25 million to the Kennedy Center, and none of it is going to go to the employees. It's just going to go to her friends. Don't you think that's evil? How many people in this country would like $25 million? The Kennedy Center, do you think they're aching for money? Do you think they're losing a lot of money? Do you think that's going to go under anything that's named the Kennedy Center? Or will we bring that back to life because how we hold the Kennedys up as objects of admiration? No, I don't think so. She's lining the pockets of her friends. No, so she's not a good Italian girl. But Cuomo, I'm not sure about him, that I like him. But he's raised a good daughter, and nobody's going to get near her. He's going to make sure no boys get near her until there's a good boy that's going to respect her. Very good. See you in a minute. Got some more videos.
I was tired in your arms tonight. There must have been some kind of kiss. I should have